Hi.
Hi.
I was just on a Zoom call for like 2 hours, so I'm used to being on.
What was the Zoom call for?
I signed up for, do you know Kaveh Zahedi?
No.
He's like a filmmaker and he's doing this workshop and I signed up for it, and it's like a Zoom like collaborative filmmaking class.
What kind of films does he make? Or has he made?
I'm gonna,
Anything I would know?
yeah, he like makes, he's been making like a self like meta narrative like films since like for like 20 years, and then like he kind of became like he had like a downtown New York like revival because a lot of the like Lower East Side like people really liked him, and so then he made like a thing called The Show About the Show, where he was just like filming himself and then like making a movie about it, and then like his marriage fell apart and he like was dating all these young ladies. And
Wait, when is this from?
yeah, this was from a couple years ago, called The Show About the Show. But I like a film he made in I think like 2001 or something called In the Bathtub of the World, which was like he filmed himself every day for a year.
Just like vlogging, like doing his life?
Yeah, it it all kind of revolves around like whatever like girl he's with at the time, and how or something seems to happen in all of it where like the woman is like, stop doing this, like I wish you would stop, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna, and then like, they fight about it and that ends up being like what the thing is about
It
in a nutshell.
sounds like something I would like.
I think you would. He's kind of I like him. I do find him charming.
How old is he?
Um, that's a good question.
I'm recording,
He's
by the way.
Oh, you
I
are?
just started recording. It's just
Oh.
on my phone.
He's 66 years old.
Oh, he's old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has he been around a while?
Yeah. Yeah. He like taught my ex-boyfriend at the San Francisco like Art Institute like a
Oh, he
long
was like
time
a
ago.
professor.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I was doing that today. What's up with you?
I'm at my family's very reluctantly.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, that's why that's why I'm talking so much shit.
I know.
'Cause I haven't done that in a really long time. I've been in school for the last 2 years, and I think that I kind of like was mentally preparing myself. I thought I was gonna have to like be on campus longer, but then I totally like miscalculated my credits and realized that I don't need to be there longer. And it was kind of like I was really happy about it when I found out, because I was like, oh, like thank God I'm like so done with just like being in the forest. But it kind of like coincided with like me. I mean, like I feel like I've spent like my entire, like I left home at 19 and just like never stopped like running. Like, and I think like I think that like this like I kind of like got really used to just like winging it and like speaking things into existence, which like works fairly like fine, but it's still like very short term manic like solutions that I pull out of my ass, and then like, and so I think that like I almost came here last summer because I was in like a really kind of just like weird position. Like I've kind of been like slowly like breaking down for like 4 years, I think. Like when I turned 28, I like ended a long-term relationship and like left an apartment that I had been in for a really long time, and like what all of a sudden like wasn't really like depressed anymore, or like the kind of depression that I had been for so long. But yeah, it's been weird. At the same time, a lot of things have like kind of caught up to me in that time, and it's like a weird combination of like, oh my god, like I feel like well positioned to pursue all of these dreams that I kind of forgot about or didn't think was possible, and then like hitting kind of the wall of like my energy like over and over again, and just like getting really tired and confronting the fact that like I haven't really like made a lot of money in my life, and I don't really like know how to do that. Like I know how to like survive and like prioritize like, I don't know what I think is like real, but yeah. So like that's the really like long answer to, I, because literally like a few months ago I was not planning on being here beyond June really, but like my solution like wasn't good, and I think it just like really hit me where I was like, girl, you can't like just like stay in some like random man's house. Like
Yeah.
and I think I just started reaching a point where I was like I I'm also a weird person because I do have savings, but I think I've just always known that like if I use those savings, like I won't have them in a year.
Right.
And I'm like, I can't like lose that like one thing because I feel like I'm like not sure if I'm like capable. But I think I just like, this happened to me last summer where I was kind of like pulling things out of my ass, and some of them were with like random like hustler men, and some of them were with like people that I was actually friends with, who I was like kind of romantically involved with, and so neither of them were really like stable. And I had like not been in touch with my family for like a long time prior to that, but I was in a place where I was like kind of more comfortable reaching out, and I just hit this moment where I was like the fact that like I don't feel like I can go to my family or like ask them for something when I'm literally like when if they knew like what I was doing to like live, like I just don't think this like isn't right. I was like I feel like this is a burden they should carry with me.
Yeah.
like like it just started to like really irk me. So I I'm kind of, yeah, I kind of think I'm gonna be here like until I really feel understand like what my life is gonna look like, and
Yeah.
and feel like I like it's gonna be stable.
So did you like graduate? Like, are you done with school? Or
So I like the reason I am not on campus is because I had like so few credits left that I was gonna be finished like halfway through fall quarter, and all of the classes I was gonna take anyway are like online. So I was like, oh great, I can just leave. I don't have to like pay for, I don't have to.
yeah.
So not yet, but technically I'll have enough credits like in the fall, but I'm gonna do I'm going to do online classes for like through 2027, because I decided at the last minute to like do like a graphic design certificate program and like a nonprofit certificate program.
Nice.
Like I just had like some practical and like some like a few like just kind of economics. Like there's a lot, yeah, a lot of like more practical classes at the end that I realized I was like running out of credits. And so yeah, I'm gonna end up with like more credits than I anticipated, or like than you need.
Yeah.
And I'm probably not. I was originally like, oh, I've realized that I'm interested in like finance and all this stuff. Like once I don't need any more credits, and so I thought like, oh, maybe that would be like a really respectable graduate or like master's degree to have. But then I discovered that FAFSA doesn't give grants for master's degrees. They only give loans. So now I'm not going to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's like a way more of like a massive like consideration.
Yeah.
But I kind of have this inkling that because I'm a German citizen, so I kind of, I kind of have a like prediction that I might end up getting like going to grad school in Germany because you can basically do it for free, and then I could just get like a theology like master's degree in like a castle building.
Dude, you should totally do that.
Yeah.
Why are you... Okay.
That's my life story. Not really. There's so much more, oh my god.
Yeah.
But
so
yeah.
Did you... Okay.
What?
Yeah, you should go to Germany. Yeah. Like, why be here?
I know, everyone asks me this, and I have an answer.
Yeah.
And the reason that I don't just like run away to Europe is because I would have the same problems there that I have here, and I also would have a language barrier. So
I see.
The answer for me, like overall, like that would just answers everything. Then I can get master's degrees, then I can uproot myself anytime I want, is I have to make money from my computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I just realized this in the last like year less, because everything I think about feels like it's just like buying myself time, like even getting a master's degree, and most of the things I consider, I'm like, okay, what's the payoff for that? Yeah. And then it makes me like not want to do it. And yeah, I have to like make money from my computer, and then I can like I won't have these I won't have these problems that I'm encountering.
Yeah. I got my master's a few years ago, and I got it here in Texas, and I came here because of the programs I applied to. It was like the only one that was free, and that was in art history. Yeah.
Free? How did you do that? Did you get a...
So it was like the program, it was an MA in art history, and it was like in-state tuition, and at the University of Houston it's extremely cheap, and I got a scholarship and a teaching assistantship, so I taught while I was in school, and then it worked out to being free, and I just paid for like my like rent and stuff, my living expenses. But
that's great.
Yeah. And like other people in my cohort were like working while they were in school also. Like there was definitely like time to do it. It wasn't like overwhelming. Yeah, and then I left here to go to LA, and then like had trouble finding work, and then ended up coming back here because I got like a job like immediately after I graduated because yeah, here in Houston it just feels like there's a lot of opportunities.
Which surprises me. But you said it's just because, like,
Really?
I mean, like, I don't really know a lot about... I know Houston does have a creative scene, but I guess, like, yeah, it's so... It's not one that I, like, understand or am, like, particularly drawn to or feel like there's a lot of people like me. So maybe that's what you mean, is that there's, like... You said there's, like, low competition, almost.
Yeah, that's how it felt. And I think maybe the people in my program, like the faculty were like really great, and they just like knew, like every semester it felt like they knew someone who was like, hey, I need like someone to come like help me out. And then, you jump in. And it just, I don't know, it just felt really like a small community, and it just felt very easy in a way that it didn't feel in LA.
Yeah, well, that doesn't surprise me about, like, LA feeling more... I mean, like, weirdly, New York was easy because, like, there's so many people that all are very ambitious, and you get the opportunities you get are, like, from meeting people and like talking to them. And I kind of see LA is kind of similar to that. Like I everything that I ever got or did in New York was because I was like, like rambunctious and at a party and met someone. And then, even if it was like I think about this, like, the things that happened to me when I was, like, 19, 20, because I maybe was just, like, a lot more, I definitely was more outgoing in a way that now I just feel like, I kind of feel like, oh, I've seen it all, like, I don't want to go to these parties. But I think I'm also just like more discerning. But like I do think about how like I feel like random things would just happen to me when I was 20 that I like didn't know what to do with or would just like completely sabotage, whereas I feel like now I'm like begging people to like, hand me things, and it's more difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I feel that way in Houston right now, like creatively, and like I don't know, so, like I feel like in my like academically and like with the work I'm doing, like I'm getting bills paid and stuff, but I feel like very like I don't know, I don't really have the same style in a lot, or tastes, I guess, as a lot of people. I feel like here, or it feels like they're hard to find. So
Yeah,
which sucks, but whatever.
yeah, I think that that was kind of the case for me when things were coming towards me, is I felt like really different than everyone, and I felt like I wasn't around people who really understood me, and I think I was right that I was in the wrong communities, but I was also like hyper sensitive to it and didn't have a sense of like professionalism or money like I do now, where now I'm just kind of like, I'll make money off of anyone. Like, I don't need you guys to like understand me at like a deep level anymore.
Yeah.
But and it's just ironic because I'm like, I'm so much more personable, like I'm so much more tolerant. I am way easier to be around now. Like I have no idea how I have no idea how I got the things that I did as a young person, and most of the time it was me leaving and being like, fuck you guys, I'm too good for you. And I have no idea how they weren't like, something's wrong with this girl, like we need to get rid of her, like she is like depressed and violent and like not like really problematic. But that like wasn't the case most of the time. Like I did get fired sometimes, but it was like I got fired from like a restaurant job because I was like younger than everyone, and I was very like unfriendly. But it's funny, like I mean, maybe it was because I was in creative scenes, but for some reason, I mean, nothing like insane, but like even just the fact that, you know, I would get like an internship, and then someone would be like, oh, like you can work at this gallery, like you can just literally just sit there, and I have like green hair and like, you know, like just like dead eyes, and I'm probably like on drugs, and I just don't even, you know, I would just kill for something really chill.
Yeah.
like that now, and I have no idea why they wanted me like around like some of these galleries were nice.
Yeah.
Or like being an assistant for someone and then just becoming like, yeah, I had no ability. It's just fucking weird. It's just weird.
Well, do you want to be back in the art world?
I mean, the thing that's different is that, like, while I would do, like a really low stakes, day job like that. I also, I think that I really would prefer to do something remotely where I don't have to, because I don't even really know like where I'm gonna be soon. I mean,
yeah.
So yes and no. Like, honestly, I'm kind of hoping, like, I'm kind of am hoping that I can like create some kind of like repeatable like swing trading thing, and like I have kind of an idea and a plan because I watch these like big stocks, like things like Facebook and Apple. I watch them like go up and down like between these certain areas, and it's like Facebook and Apple, right? So you're kind of like, what's gonna happen to Facebook and Apple? So I'm like, if I can just like get those little like, that's my idea.
Wow.
And that's like a really real strategy. Like, which would mean that I don't require anyone. I don't have to answer to anyone.
Right.
And then, because what I will say, I think that what's different about me now is that when I was 20, like, everything was really low stakes. And I would kind of just say yes to everything because I didn't care about money, delusionally. And I was just desperate for like exposure and attention and like anything to happen. And so, I mean, granted, no one's like offering me like an internship. If someone did that, I would definitely be curious.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like party in the same way. And so I think that my standards are a lot higher, and so I'm probably like closing myself off to stuff.
Sure.
Whereas I think that when you're younger, you're kind of just like, sure, whatever. And then it accidentally like turns into something better.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm like, no, I need like I need like a bunch of money. I need it to be, I have all these like requirements.
Right.
And also no one's like banging down my door.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like working for this gallery? It's like in person, right?
Yeah. I work for the estate of one of the gallery's artists.
Yeah.
And so I'm working with like archives and stuff, and I kind of like it because I get to be like not involved with like the day-to-day of the gallery if I don't want to be, which is good because sometimes it's like I really don't care about whatever's going on with like the other artists, but I do really enjoy like working with the estate. And I like archives because there's not like a real person you have to deal with, which is just more comfortable for me.
Because they're dead.
Yes, why? Because they're dead.
But who else is there working with you?
It's like the owner of the gallery is also director of the foundation. Although they're like not supposed to be, they're like, because it's like, what's it called? Not a conflict of interest, but like the idea that they're like the director of the nonprofit, but then they're also selling the work of the artist. Like it shouldn't be allowed, because we are technically a nonprofit. So I'm working for them.
Did they represent this woman?
Yeah.
So they can't be associated with her estate?
No, it's the artists before they died set up a foundation, which is like a 501c and gives money to like a couple different like universities and libraries every year. So the
gallery does. Wait, the estate
the foundation.
Oh, okay, she's the foundation, right? The lady.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
And she also, yes, and then the gallery represents the estate.
Okay.
So they're supposed to be two separate entities. But it's the same person.
Why what's the conflict?
Because it's like, I don't know, I guess because it's like, because the gallery is making money off selling these paintings.
Mm-hmm.
But that, and they also can like take money that's supposed to be like for a nonprofit and like could be funneled into something that would benefit like the gallery. I don't know.
This is interesting because this is exactly like what I'm learning about right now. I mean, not like this,
really?
not like, but I'm not like specific. Like I've never encountered this specific rule, but I've been in nonprofit. Like I'm taking. I started my first nonprofit class was last quarter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're learning about. I'm just like really fascinated by foundations.
Yeah.
It's like so romantic to me.
Yes. And it's amazing because when I first learned that, like, the tax write-off for the foundation, the amount of the taxes that the foundation pays every year, can just be like skirted around by like making a donation of one of the works of art to like a museum, which then in turn like raises the value of the other works. You know, because like to have a work by this artist in a museum is going to be good for so it's like whatever money the foundation has to pay at the end of the year, you just give away a painting. And then every time the gallery sells something, half of it goes back to the foundation. So, but I started getting into this because I had no idea about any of this before I started working for the foundation. And then I started just like looking at other artist foundations and seeing like just how, how much they're pulling in from an artist who's dead, who's not, not seeing any of the money. And
Yeah.
then you like the money goes into like what I'm doing, which is I'm writing this book, and then we're going to publish the book using the foundation's money. And then, ideally the book makes it so that there's more of a demand for the art. Do you know what I'm saying? So it feels like if you're doing things right, it feels like it should be a loop that like grows the value of the artist's stuff. So
Yeah.
it's cool. And I like focusing on like one person's stuff, like versus working in like a museum or something where you just have to be like doing research on everything in the collection. And yeah, I really became disinterested in working for museums after grad school, but I used to think that was what I wanted to do. But
What did you want to do for a museum?
I want to be the curatorial.
Curator.
Yeah. Which feels like it's like every,
That
every
almost feels
girl
too big
wants to
for
do.
me. That like feels too big
Curator feels too big.
for a museum
Yeah.
because it's so old world,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I really like new, or like I like yeah, like small galleries, or like artists that people don't. I mean, I'm fascinated by like certain household names, but I think I'm more interested in like, yeah, like pushing like something totally new that maybe like no one believes in yet, and there's like no money behind.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it would be amazing to like be working with or for someone who has one of these like meteoric rises right now where it's like a woman usually who they like pull from history and they're like, and that's kind of what we're doing, right? Is the like what's her name? The like Nordic woman, like Hilma af Klint,
Oh
like
yeah, I love her. I have her
yeah,
book
it's like
somewhere.
she was, she was rediscovered, and you get to like say, oh, this is why she was kept down, and then she becomes like a superstar. Um,
Oh.
which is fun. I think it's a compelling story, and we're trying to do that now with the person because she was a woman artist, and she had like a male painter friend who was more successful than her, and there's kind of like she was convinced that he was like stealing from her and copying her paintings and stuff, which I think makes a pretty compelling story to say.
That was really common. Who is it? Wait, oh, is this your lady?
Yeah.
Oh, your lady. Okay, yeah, this is really common.
Yeah, yeah. And I think people like to hear that, if they're if they want to buy, an underrepresented artist from the past, it's an exciting story.
You know what I always wondered is like when I'm learning what are you drinking, by the way?
I was drinking some iced coffee.
Oh, okay. I was like, I'm drinking a mimosa, and I thought you might have been drinking a mimosa as well.
No, I don't have anything at home, unfortunately.
Oh, I have two thoughts. Okay, first thought, what I always think about when I'm studying anything art history, and they have this like progression of eras, and we're supposed to believe that like abstract emerged like in the 1900s, and that prior to that, everyone was doing like still lives or like these really like in-depth like landscapes or portraits. And while obviously that was like the art world, I always wonder, I'm like, do you think anyone was just like making abstract like in their house and there was just no market for it? Like people were probably like scribbling on stuff and they just didn't
Yeah.
think about it as art because art was like, you know, portraits for royal people, or and then it became everyday life and then it became like, but I was like, do you think that? You think
Yeah, totally.
do you
That
think
was
they would
kind of
even
like
think to
the,
do it?
huh?
Do you think they would think to do it? Like, because, oh, you know what though? Like, it's totally a natural, it's like a child, that's like what they start, like children scribble.
Yeah.
So, like, if anyone handed a child a pen, like a pencil, that's what they would have done.
Yeah.
But you never hear about anyone in like the 1700s, like, being like, look at my, um, like abstract drawing. Like,
No, because they would be like, oh, that's for like the mentally, like, because I feel like it was a thing in like the late 19th century when like artists started to be like, look at these like mentally unwell people, like they're actually onto something. Or like, like Picasso going to the, I don't even remember, and like seeing like the African masks and being like, wait, they're actually onto something. Like the primitive people like are doing something. But yeah, so that, yeah, I would say people were doing it, like invalids and children. But it wasn't until like real artists later were like, they were spitting actually with that.
but then we
That's what I
never,
think.
but then we never like went back and were like, is it maybe because it could never be preserved because it would have been on like not canvas, it would have maybe been on paper, if that. And so if people were doing something, you know, back in Middle Ages, like we would have no ability to be like, oh my god, it's coming back, like look at this drawing from the Middle Ages that no one cared about. Like we don't have a
Well,
reference point.
the cave paintings, like at Lascaux, were like pretty abstract.
Really?
And that's like what? Yeah, totally. Like, because I remember this was something on my like art history, like you had to do like what's it called, the exam, the qualifying exam. But like the way that they drew cows non-representationally, like they showed them with like the body on the on side profile, but like with the head facing front, because then you could see that they were cows because they had antlers, which is like the first sign of abstraction.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah,
because
and
they
they
were
were doing
they
like
were drawn.
kind of like
Um,
stick figure people, right? Or like maybe not like stick figure, but maybe like what you're talking about. Like, well, they were, because they when they were
yeah,
drawing like people, when they were just depicting people and like with their weapons and stuff and like animals, and they were depicting like tribal activities. They weren't like detailed people. They were like just little line
right.
drawings, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty abstract. That's kind of like that, like what Basquiat started doing.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because that's something I've always thought about, is every time I start hearing about like these, it's because it's often felt like we've moved, like we've gotten like less detailed and descriptive like over time, and my immediate thought is like, I wonder if I lived back then, if I would have been, because I probably would have been like writing in a journal, and I wonder if I would have been like romanticizing like my journal Even if like the only type of art that I ever saw was like a portrait of like a naval scene and like a queen,
Mm-hmm.
or if that was like, because like I don't know. I mean, when I think back to like me like being really infatuated by like my handwriting or like my notebooks, it felt like it's hard to say like, you know, if I was like completely influenced by like characters that I had seen, or to an extent I think my world was like genuinely like that small and microscopic that like I could not look beyond my own journal because it like was the only thing like keeping me like tethered to like the earth was like these like little like things on my desk. So I feel like, yeah, even as like a peasant person, maybe I like wouldn't have like thought about it as art, but maybe a lot of this just happened inside of people's heads and like they just weren't being platformed. So we don't know because um I mean so much of like these contemporary movements where it is about just like kind of what's kind of appears as like this low effort like conceptual like diary art. I really like it because it feels really like natural and like human
Yeah.
and like eternal. So yeah, I kind of I feel like maybe everyone's always like thought about it like this.
Are you into God at all?
God?
Yeah.
What? I mean, like obviously, but
Okay.
yeah, I feel like I talk about God a lot.
I guess so. I can't remember. Well, I don't know. I feel like
But what do you
yeah,
mean by that?
if you were in like a, I don't know, like
But that's a new
that
thing.
it's a new thing.
Yeah, I had like a spiritual awakening, like a twin flame spiritual awakening when I was 28, and then I became like super spiritual and
Mm.
almost like religious, and I don't think that I thought about stuff that way before.
So do you have any connection to like the like medieval drawings of like the Christ wound and like do you think like medieval art and like illuminated manuscripts are cool?
Well, first of all, what's the illuminated manuscript?
Those are like well, it made me think of it because that was like the like accepted or like serious equivalent of like doodling in like a book you're reading or something, like adding
Oh.
like a marginalia and adding drawings which were pretty abstract, like in the margins of your Bible,
Oh.
which
Yeah.
is like, yeah, like the Manil collection here in Houston has like a cool collection of those.
What are people
I don't
saying
know.
in the margins?
Just like if it's like I don't know, not like full-fledged, like they're not drawing out like full scenes, but they're drawing maybe like figures or like rudimentary or just like it, like taking their notes of like whatever the person who owned it, like whatever appealed to them.
Oh, they're drawing.
Yeah.
Like drawing like representations of like what they're reading, kind of.
Yeah. Or like doodles.
That's cute. Like
Yeah.
doodles.
Yeah, like doodles.
Yeah,
But I
I
think,
think that's the same like urge. I would be curious about people just writing in books in general.
yeah. Yeah. Because I feel
Yeah.
like if you were living that time, that would be like your only outlet, really. Because, I don't know, anything that wasn't like related to God, I feel like would be like vanity, or there would be like, I don't know, you would get like drowned or something if you were doing something about yourself. Like it had to be about Christ, you know?
Yeah, that might be true.
I don't know. It depends. We're talking about like centuries, and we're and like switching between
Yeah,
different
we're
eras,
definitely
but
talking very broadly. And to be honest, I
yeah.
don't have a good enough understanding of like I was mind blown. Um, I took an art history class just like last year, and it was the first, and it only went back to like the mid 1800s or something, but it was the first time that I really understood like why eras bleed into other eras and like why certain things come after other things. And I don't have that understanding with
Yeah.
like general history at all. Like I don't
Yeah,
know
me neither.
why people were doing what they were doing and like what was going on.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
me
the
neither.
high school system does not teach you that.
Mhm. Um, Tell me about your spiritual awakening.
Um so so my response to, first of all, if I like looked at those manuscripts, I would probably automatically like connect it to my own urge, and I would probably really like it. I've never been drawn to like religious iconography, um, specifically, really, but and I never really knew. I didn't grow up um, religious, so I never knew like any of the stories. Um, but my spiritual awakening, so um, basically I was dating this guy for 4 years. We lived in an apartment together. I brought him back from New York. We got like really domestic. It's like my longest relationship, my longest time like living in one place. It was like very, and I really just like got a chance to um like work through a lot of like just depression that I had been living with for a really long time. And but I kind of like started to outgrow him. I always like kind of could feel that we were like not really like doing the same thing, or like we were not on the same page. And but I had never been like so like domesticated. And so I was like doing all this therapy on myself that like he wasn't really doing. And anyway, I ended up just kind of like, there's something you know about your Saturn return. Have you heard of your Saturn?
Heard of it, yeah.
How old are you, by the way?
I'm 27.
So you're there, because
This is what I've heard. Yeah.
it's different for everyone, but this is what the 27 Club is. Because it's what it is it's when Saturn, which is the planet of like discipline and karma and like responsibility, comes back to where it was when you were born. And it basically, you have this crisis moment where you just kind of start really questioning like like what you've built,
Mm-hmm.
and whether your foundation is stable, and what you want to build like into your 30s. And Then there's another one that happens like in your mid late 50s, which is usually people's like midlife crisis, which can be really, really, really intense for people if they didn't have like they didn't get a lot of the stuff out of the way when they're like 28. So I'm really hoping that my midlife crisis is going to be really chill, because I just don't think that my life I could go any lower than I was in my 20s. Like I think I'm just a specific kind of person. But anyway, it's a good, like, if you're a spiritually aware person, if you're a sensitive person, then you're going to feel a shift. And you have to calculate your birth chart because it's different depending on when you were born. So it could be 27, 28, or 29. And I had been trying to, like, I knew I needed to break up with this guy for so long, and I tried so many times, but he wouldn't let me, and I would always concede. And what happened is I hadn't talked to my twin flame in like a really long time, like basically since we were like teenagers, aside from like a couple like random here and there like moments where we were just like in the same town. And he kind of just like came back onto my radar like right at this time. And I was feeling like in higher spirits, and I was feeling like good. And so I was like, you know what? I want to show face. Like I want to show face with like people I used to know. And I hung out with him and my ex-boyfriend now, and I just knew they were going to get along. Because they're like the same person. Not really. But anyway, he came back into my life, and as soon as I started observing like both of them together, and then I met my twin flames partner at the time, and I was like, oh my God. We are dating each other, but we hate them.
Oh my God.
We were literally like dating each other's doppelgangers, but we were fighting with each other's like we were fighting with the people we were dating. And there was this one night where we were at a bar. I came to like a show he was playing, and we were like sitting across from each other at this bar. My boyfriend was sitting next to me, his girlfriend was sitting next to him, and then there were like two other random people. And we were talking, and he just kept trying to talk to me. He was like, do you remember when we did this when we were 17? Do you remember when we did this when we were 17? And they were like the most like specific, like, do you remember when you were on acid and you texted me, you know? Or like, do you remember when we were like stoned and we were like in the snow? Like really specific, like indie movie vignette moments that I was like, you're kidding me. Like you think about those times too? Like you're kidding me. And both of our partners are just sitting on the other side of us, just like his girlfriend is like trying to like bicker with him, and I literally just had like an epiphany moment. And I was just like what happened is like I had been trying to break up with my boyfriend for so long, but seeing him, this person that I was like I had so much like respect and admiration for, being like treated this way by this girl that I was just like, who the fuck is this girl? And then him, I was just like, oh my God. Like, I just literally, it just like broke through everything. And, about a week later, I broke up with my boyfriend. And, it turned out that exact week that I had broken up with my boyfriend was the start of my Saturn return, which was really weird because I had literally not had the strength, forever. So, and then I couldn't keep it in because it was like every question that I had been trying to figure out about, like, I was almost getting ready to like settle with this man. Like he would have married me and like just had this like fucking like, you know, domestic ass, whatever life, this kind of boring life. And it was just like every question that I had been trying to like answer just like made sense, and like all these memories started like flooding back, and I couldn't, it was just like literally just like hanging out with him for like a few hours, like over a period of a couple months, was like, and also in the place I was in, like where I was just way more emotionally like stable and grounded and like clear-headed, and I could see it for what it was. I was like, oh my God, like this is a very genuine like friendship and connection. And it's like, it's what I've been looking for. And I can't believe it's been there the whole time. And I told him, but I had to do it over text because his girlfriend like didn't want us to hang out. And like we kept trying to like plan hanging out, and he just kept being like, yes, I want to hang out, but I'm so busy. And I was just like, fuck this. I just sent him like this long like message and just didn't care. And he like freaked out on me and blocked me. And I was like, I don't care. Like this is real life. And I became completely like spiritually manic because I had been depressed for so long, and started like making this like crazy like Instagram content. Like I like every day I would wake up and like write this stuff, and like I just became like a totally different person. And it's all and I just did that for like a few years, and it just kind of slowly like turned kind of grounded, and has become like, you know, it took a while to like integrate it, because at first I'd wake up every day just like crying. Like I would go through like the full range of human emotions like every day, because I would just remember things and be like mourning like time lost and stuff. And it made me very like religious. It made me, I was like, my whole life like felt like a movie, and I felt like I started like seeing angel numbers everywhere, and just like everything was like a synchronicity. And then I watched the movie. There's like a movie about Mary Magdalene, and I started understanding that like she was understood to be like Jesus's twin flame. And I was like, that's exactly how it feels. Like, I'm Mary Magdalene. Like, that's how it feels. Like, that is like the purity of like what this like connection is. And then I just felt like I understood like a lot of religion and a lot of people's kind of like ideas of purity and of these like soul, you know, like, and even how it can get distorted. Like, oh, a woman has to be like this and a man's like, and they are these perfect one, you know, two sides of the same coin. They complete each other. Like all of this rhetoric that gets so distorted. I was like, I felt like I had like the pure version of it. And that was my spiritual awakening. And that was,
oh my God,
4 years ago. And I'm pretty sure I'm still blocked, but I'm pretty sure he like watches my stories from like a burner account. Like I just have had this intuition that he's been watching my stories from a burner account for a really long time.
How often do you check if you're still blocked?
Well, first of all, I switched numbers, so he would have to kind of track me down if he wanted to, which I did on purpose. But I'm definitely still blocked on Instagram.
Got it.
But you know what's funny is we have a lot of mutual friends, okay? And like our lives are so intertwined in a way that is amazing. But like we have a lot of mutual friends, and particularly one of them I have spoken to many times over the last 4 years. I have even told him this. I have even like confessed this to him, and he has never even like been weird about it. Like they literally hang out, and then he talks to me, and it's just this weird like unspoken like. I just feel like everyone knows, but they like don't like talk about it as like what it is. And I don't know, it feels like, because I'm like, not even like once has anyone who is actually close to this situation told me like, you are actually fucking delusional and insane. No one who actually knows us or me or like who grew up with me has ever said that to me ever. It's always just been like random people who like don't understand like what I'm talking about. who are
Yeah.
like, oh, you're romanticizing something toxic. And I'm like, no.
That's a good sign, I think. If no one has said that to you.
No, I mean, but it's genuinely
Yeah.
really funny where like some people like, yeah, like there are, yeah, people who I've known for a long time who, I mean, just a lot of our like common friends have just sort of like observed this happen, have just like watched my like postings, and I don't know. I mean, not that I would let them tell me anything if even if they
Right.
did, but it just, you know, and even like recurringly will like reach out to me and like kind of like be like a quiet part of my um life and stuff. And yeah, I just that's kind of how it's always felt. It's just like I like there's just this like really kind of quiet like understanding.
Mm.
um
Damn.
um
That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like the way it happened too is like very um magical. Like I think I've like always looked at my life as like through the lens of like this is an indie movie that I'm living. But I think that where this just felt different is I was like, I'm not even writing this story. Like this was written
Mm.
by God.
Yeah.
Like I'm not romanticizing it. It's just like it's just like so absurdly perfectly orchestrated in a way that I can't even like believe.
Yeah. I feel like things with a twin flame, in my experience, they always happen in the most like absurd, like, I don't know if I would still say, I don't know. I don't know if, I guess it's not a twin flame if you can't say with 100% certainty, but it's ebbed and flowed in my life. But I feel like I'll say a soulmate, my former soulmate, um, it was always like you're gonna run into him like at the most inopportune time, or like you'll think like I was just always running into him and
Yeah.
things. Yeah, where it's like of course it would go this way, of
Yeah, like
course, as it always does.
I know, I feel like he's just gonna like appear, or like I'm gonna appear. Like I'm just gonna like
Yeah,
our lives.
where is he in the world?
He still lives in Portland.
Okay, so then like, yeah, you shouldn't move to Germany, or I guess you can.
I probably
You can do
will.
whatever you want.
No, but like, see, that's the thing is that like I genuinely feel like it'll happen regardless.
Yeah, yeah, it will.
Like, you know, our lives. I think it's already happened so many times where like he was born in LA, I was born in Texas. We both somehow ended up in Portland. We met through a childhood best friend of mine. He went to like theater camp with this girl. He had a crush on my best friend that I was friends with since I was like 5. And my friend was like, "Oh, this stupid boy has a crush on me at my theater camp. Like, let's go like hang out. He wants to hang out. Like, let's go like, you know, mess with him." And we do. And then I just am like I just am like, I don't want to mess with him.
Yeah.
And and then this was before high school. And then we ended up going to the same high school. And we're still not really friends. Like we kind of would like eye chat and stuff. But then we ended up like accidentally volunteering like at the same theater. And then we just quietly had all the same friends. Like we weren't even really friends the first half of high school, but then as we progressed and became who we are, we realized we were like in the exact same communities and that we didn't even have to like reach out. Like there was no moment where it was like, "Hey," like it was just like, "Oh," like, and it was just this, it just was like, obviously you're here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just, yeah, I feel like I feel like I feel like that'll happen. And I also feel like, you know, if we ever did really want to like get in touch with someone, or if he ever wanted to like really get in touch with me, then he could, because he always has. And yeah, I mean, even if I were to go to Germany, that wouldn't happen, like I said, until I have a remote income. Because even when I was looking into it and I was like, maybe I could buy more time with this, I was looking into like the city where this like ancient college is, and it's not really cheap. The process of like finding, even as a European citizen, the process of just like doing an overseas move is just tedious, and I would rather the money be easy. So that probably wouldn't happen for the next like 3 to 5 years. And but yeah, it's what I think in the beginning of this, I was very like, I was so overwhelmed and like overcome by the fact that I felt like I was like mourning the fact that I have known this person since I was 15. I felt like we like lost time together because of circumstances, and I was so like afraid that something was going to happen to one of us. I think that as time's gone on, I just feel like it just will, like, I don't really think I fully understand the timing of it. But when I think about who I was like 4 years ago, like, I am in a way better position to like hang out with him again now, because I was crazy. It's 222. It's 222.
Oh yeah.
You messaged me at 12:22, by the way.
Whoa.
So.
Wait, which was 222 where I am?
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's...
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize.
Yeah.
Okay.
People do that to me all the time. Like, they'll send me like a first message after like days or hours or weeks, and it's happened to me like 5 times in the last week.
Well, I don't know if this was a really successful podcast.
We've been recording for 111 too.
Ooh.
But no, I think it was.
Okay.
And
good.
My question for you is, I had my other thought before I started talking about, I think, art history was, whatever happened at the wine bar.
Oh, yeah.
I've
kind of been seeing him since then. But he's like, he actually canceled on me today. Because he's like, they're really busy because like someone just quit there. So now he's been like working there every night. So I've been seeing him like once a week, which I don't know.
Is it like a sincere like connection that you feel with him, or is it like a...
It feels that way. I feel like I'm really not used to like dating someone in a like I see them once a week kind of way. I feel like I'm really used to like you meet someone and they're immediately like, I'm in love with you and like I want to spend all our time together.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, and that kind of makes me feel crazy that I'm like so like bothered by it. But when we're together, it feels really nice. But then it just feels like so much time passes. It's like, okay, so should I move on or what? Like,
yeah,
but it's because I'm like impatient, I guess, or like weird. And I'm also like socially isolated. So like I don't have like a ton of people to like hang out with and fill my time. So I'm just like reading a lot and working a lot, and yeah, and that makes me feel like a loser because I'm like, oh, I'm like a girl like waiting for a boy to like text me back, which is, I hate that.
That's exactly what happened with my flings, because I broke up with that long-term guy and I was like, okay, I knew I broke a cycle with him, And then I was like, I've identified, like, I was like, yeah, now that I know who my twin flame is, I can identify these other, like, you know, the level down, like, other kind of, like, guy best friends. And I'm like, oh, maybe they're, like, you know, it's not the same, but it's, like, definitely, like, a kind of an unspoken understanding energy. And so I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then I started doing that, and I was like, oh my god, you guys are so weird and, like, flaky. And, like, even though it's really, like, it's definitely, like, really powerful and intense immediately, and we both have the same kind of recognition, it's kind of like, it's almost like, because they're just objectively, like, better and more interesting than my previous partners, who, you know, they were such losers that they could throw away their entire life for me because they didn't have a life.
Right. Yeah.
And so, but these new guys, it was like the opposite, and not in a good way, because I was like, I feel like I'm trying to, like, fit into your life, and I'm like an afterthought, and that doesn't work for me either.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I usually end up spiraling out, and it doesn't last very long. But we're still, like, friends.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, though, like, the best relationship I've ever had and the longest relationship I've ever had has been with someone where I was like the loser, and I was trying to get them to, like, commit to me. And then I think when that ended, I was like, I'm never going to do that again. And then I only wanted to be with someone who was, like, was a loser, or, like, who was obsessed with me immediately, because I just didn't want to, like, I didn't want to risk anything, you know. I didn't want to feel bad ever.
Yeah.
But it's actually fine to feel bad.
Not to say that those relationships were not healthy, but I think that it made sense to me that we, like, were just immediately, like, living together. Yeah. Or whatever it was. And I think that, you know, I was like, in this scenario where I genuinely get along with you people way better, I would love to have that happen, you know, because I feel like it's gonna be not as toxic. And, you know, for some reason that, like, just wasn't possible, because they're weird. They're honestly, like, kind of like, I'm not used to these, like, player guys. Like, they're more they're kind of more they're more flaky, kind of like me. Like, I'm like, oh no.
I know.
But yeah, the twin flame is the magical middle ground, where they're, like, the mirror, but they're also, like, not gonna, like, you know, mess around with you because they're serious. So
yeah.
No,
I feel like the reason I'm starting to feel like maybe that wasn't my twin flame is because he's getting married, or he's going to get engaged. He told my best friend that he bought a ring, and that has been, like, the first time I'm like, oh shit, like, maybe it really is over.
Yeah, but that's so common.
I know. I mean, I guess.
That can't be that alone can't be the reason. Usually, if you're like, that's not my twin flame, it'll be because something kind of, like, genuinely, like, fucked up happens that just makes you feel like you guys don't see each other anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like, because, like, I've been blocked for 4 years, man. Like, people could call me, like, mega delusional, but I know my story. Like, I know what it, like, I just know it, like, with my whole being. And
that's really great.
He could never tell me otherwise. He wouldn't even be able to. He would, like, try, and I'd be like, you're literally I can see it in your face, like, you're lying to me. I feel like you're crazy.
Oh my god.
So, like, I don't know, it just like feels, yeah, I mean, but that was part of my spiral, is every day I would wake up and, like, have a spiral where I was like, am I, like, fucking out of my mind? But it was mostly my fears were just, like, am I behaving okay? Like, am I allowed to, like, say these things out loud, like, on my stories? Because I was literally, like, telling everyone, like, everything I told you.
Yeah, I know.
And I was doing it, like, literally out of spite. I was, like, literally, like, I was like, fuck all of you people. Like, I'm gonna tell everyone all of our secrets, because I don't want to be the one like to sit with like this, you know, this like epiphany. But yeah, I mean, I've never experienced anything like it. I never will, like, ever. So
there.
Okay, well, this was a success. It's been an hour, and I feel like we got into good stuff. We talked about twin flames and art history. I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, this was a great place to start. Yeah.
And I love that we've never talked before, and I just started recording it. So I'm doing this with someone else too, in the same. But yeah, I think it's great.
Great. Well, thanks for keeping me company on this afternoon.
Yeah.
We'll do it again sometime.
I'm gonna go drink some more mimosas and have a good rest of your Sunday.
Thanks. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.